machine and open loop system. Welcome once again in today module number 4. So as you can see in open loop system what we have, here we have input and then input goes to controller and then controller processes that information, and based on that it generates signal, and that signal is like voltage, and that voltage drives the some system. So we will see what are that subsystem, uh, that system here, and then we will also see the controller, how it controls from input to output. So as you can see in the components of NC system, what do we have in NC system? This is about a component of NC system. So how do we position the NC system? First, in that, this is the motor in NC component. Although we know that NC system contains first NC system, I am talking about NC system. So tape reader, second one, this one MCU, and third one MCU, and third one was machine tool. So we have studied earlier tape reader and then machine control unit. So it is here merging. We are merging here machine control unit with the machine tool. So controller will be the part of machine control unit, and based on that signal generation, the signal will go and it drives the machine tool. So here again you can see from second component machine tool or MCU, signal is generated, and that signal goes to the motor, and here when I say signal it means voltage generated, and then voltage drives this motor. Then this is stepper motor, and then on stepper motor you can see this one lead screw, and on lead screw we have mounted this our table. So again on this we have internal thread. So as the lead screw rotate on its place, as it cannot move, so there will be relative motion between lead screw and the table mounting. So on table the workpiece is there. Okay, so let me zoom a bit. We have this system, motor, and this lead screw, then work table, and on work part and cutting tool, and this one is the one axis of motion. If we have another axis of motion, so it will be attached on the same lead screw, and it will be synchronized with the lead screw. So we will able to achieve the transverse motion also. So that is used with when we need to move in transverse direction. So as you can see in numerical control system, what we do, we control the movement of machine tool with the help of information, and information it means signal, and that signal is generated based on the some alphabet and numbers or symbols. So with the help of these alphabet, numbers or symbols, we write the program, and that program controls the movement of the machine tool when it runs. So typical parts are in positioning system is motor, lead screw, arrangement in NC positioning system for one linear axis, and if we are going for XY capability, the apparatus would be piggybacked on top of the second perpendicular axis. So here only one axis has been shown. So drive system, see, in open loop system we have this motor. Generally this is the stepper motor, and then lead screw, and as you can see the rotation of lead screw. Okay, and then work table. So generally stepper motor is used and operates without verifying that actually when we say open loop system, it means once you input the signal and then signal is processed and then we get output. Okay, but here we don't know whatever signal we have generated, we have achieved the direct desired position or not. So let me explain it further. See, suppose the table is at this point here. Okay, now you want to move the table position here at this point. So what will you do? You will give some pulse train. Pulse train means signal like this that will drive the, and this is the peak is the voltage where in the here no voltage application or no voltage apply, and when it is during this top position in waveform, this we call it pulse train because we are supplying continuous wave pulse. So it drives voltage drives the motor, and motor based on voltage motor runs. So this lead screw shaft is mounted on the rotor. So again this lead screw rotates as the motor rotates. Rotor rotates, not motor, rotor rotates. So I was talking about how to move this from here to here. So this one is our target. Okay, and we can also say is desired position. Okay, so if we supply some pulse train and we are intended to move the take the table position from here to 1 to 2 position, we can apply, but due to some reason it will move but it will not reach the actual 2 position. It may come and install it before the 2, or it may go beyond the 2, but so we are not concerned about at what position we are. Generally we think that we have achieved this target position, that 2 position, but this is not the case because due to the weight and backlash we always get some error. Suppose like you have to uh, set your table at 2.005 mm. Okay, so when motor rotates, due to the this inertia of this table, when it moves, either it will stop before this. So suppose it is 2.003, or it may go beyond this target position 2.005. So it can be 2.00 say 8. So it is difficult to achieve the target position, but generally we consider it as we have achieved the target position, but in reality we are not able to achieve that. That's why we will, in coming section, we will talk about the closed loop system. So as you know, the CNC machines are very precise. We have to control the movement, their position, table position. So that's why we opt for the closed loop system. Here what this point says, the operates without verifying. It means we are not verifying whether we have achieved the target position or not, or actual position or not. Generally operates without verifying that the actual position achieved in the move is the desired position. Actual position achieved, like I explained it here, actual position was somewhere below 2.005, so 2.003 or beyond 2.005 mm, so it was 2.008. so actual position is different, but we consider it, we don't verify it here, we take it granted that we have achieved the position, but that is not the case. So how does it move the table? As you can see, let me reduce a bit. We have this table, and then here on the lead screw we have this. On table mounting we have this arrangement, ball screw arrangement, and at this both lead screw we have ball bearing, radial ball bearing support at this radial, here this side thrust bearing. So here we have motor, and then here we have coupling, and in motor we have also the gear reduction. What? Gear reduction. Generally motor runs at high speed, so we need to reduce the speed of the lead screw. Suppose motor is running at 300 rpm, so we cannot use 300 rpm for the lead screw, otherwise this table will move very quickly in any direction. So we need to reduce the table speed. And how do we reduce? By reducing the rotation of lead screw. And how do we achieve? By using the gear mechanism. Okay. So now you see, again, as you can see, this one is guideways where screw and table is slides move. So as you can see, this lead screw, you see it, and here the mounting on that we have this one is the guideways, as you can see, thick one guideways, right? And this table mounting of the, this one is also guideways, lead screw you can see, and vertical movement this one, and here we have the ball screw. Again, as you can see in this second diagram, let me zoom a bit. Great. Lead screw, and here you can see the mounting of the table. This one is connected here, and table is at the above, and again you can see the guideways, this one guideways, this one guideways. here this one is guideway. So before going that, let me show you one or two videos. Maybe wait a minute. Uh, I hope this video is visual to you. As you can see, only for your understanding.
We could. I just really don't feel like it. You can take this strap off. You can pull these two tubes off. Okay. Now these tubes are made in two split pieces because trying to bend a that accurate of a radius for those balls to fit in and go in would have been a really hard machining wise. Certainly back in the late 60s, early 70s. They could probably do it now. Probably much different technology. They don't build these anymore that I know of. It's all rack and pinion, but. Anyway, this is a ball screw. Okay, CNC machines use the same thing. There is zero play. Okay, there's just a tiny bit of wiggle that way, but linearly, you know, back and forth, there is zero. Okay, and that's why they do it with a ball screw. The other thing too is a ball screw is an Acme screw is the kind you see like all thread. Okay, they've got very hard angles and square shoulders and everything like that. Basically, they hold a ton of torque. You can put high loads on them and stuff like that. But with this, you would have to spin your steering wheel back to center every time. Okay. With this, you know, you can literally. I don't know if I can do it here at the same time because the whole shaft's. Yeah, I can't get the shaft to spin in the tube.
So in that video, what I showed you, this part, we have this screw nut interference, and if you remember there was an arrangement like this at the top, so it takes the screw ball from one side and deliver to other side. I will share more video that will also explain, but for now just remember that ball screws are used when we need to drive the table. So now let's talk about MCU, machine control unit. That is the second part of the NC system. So here we have programmer logical control, PLC, and then this controller this programmer logic controller generates the signal, and that based on that controller it generates pulse, and then this we get the pulse signal, and when pulse signal goes to the here driver, and then driver converts this pulse signal to electrical current, and then electrical current drives the rotor of the stepper motor. So now we need to see how the pulse pulses are used to drive. Again we have this stepper motor. As you can see, this motor will rotate in 4 steps. So at this so as I was talking, it will rotate in first step. First step, this one, when this pole is activated, so north pole, and then when current is cut off and this pole is activated, so north pole comes here. So in one step it is moving 45 degree. Okay, so next step 45, next step 45, next step 45. So number of steps here 4. One rotation, in one rotation it is moving 4 steps. So if I have to calculate step angle, so total 360 degree in one rotation, and how many number of steps here 4, so we will get 45 degree. Okay. Now as you can see, these are the 1 2 3 4 for 4 phases. Okay, so at first here we have the first trend of signal, and then this signal you can see phase 0. Then next phase, this signal, this pole is activated at this one is the interval. After this one is, let's see, this one interval or period, you can say this one. Then third, is, as you can see, as soon as the second pole ends, third is activated, this pole, and then next phase fourth pole. So what we have up to here, how many pulses? It is, let me do a bit. Up to here we have check how many pulses. One pulse, second pulse, third pulse, and fourth pulse. So here we have 4 pulses, and that 4 pulses cause to draw one rotation and one rotation, and one pulse causing one step angle, as you can see 45 degree. Okay, so if these pulses are continuously supplying in this way, so we can call it pulse trend, and pulse trends are supplied from here, PLC, and then it goes to controller, and then controller generates the pulse signal, and then it goes to driver, and it again converted electrical signal, and that electrical signal motor. So here what we have got, that the each pulse causes the moment of one step angle. As you can see here, we have 4 step angle. So see, This is part of PLC. When PLC works, so what we get in controller, we have this first pulse train and then absent. So in that we have this high current and then this low current. So when the high current level reaches this level, one pulse is generated for here. Pulse signal, one signal is generated, not pulse. So it is done by the PLC along with controller. Again, next there is no current for some time. Again, next pulse. So as you can see, this is the period. So same it goes on. So this one becomes your frequency. If 1 second or 4 pulses are generated, so frequency becomes 4. If 8 pulses are sent, then in that case frequency becomes 8 when 8 pulses are sent in a 1 second. So as you can see here, hybrid stepper motor. At start, what you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 8 stator shoe, and then on that we have mounted our rotor here. Wait a minute. So in this particular motor, what we have this one. Rotor has 50 teeth and stator has 48. So we are using this arrangement, hybrid stepper motor, to reduce the speed of the stepper motor. This one, rotor. Otherwise, if we are not using this kind of gear mechanism, as you can see, what we will get in one step 360 by 8 step, because as you can see 8 poles are here. So 360 by 8, that becomes again how much? 45 degree. So with the help of hybrid mechanism, we are able to get, in that case, in particular this case, 1.8 degree step angle. So if one pulse is generated, one pulse is not generated, one pulse is sent here. So that pulse causing to move the rotor, this rotor, by 1.8 degree. Okay. So now we see open loop positioning system. How do we achieve the positioning system in open loop? As you can see, we use stepper motor, then driven by series of electrical pulses generated in MCU. Okay, and each pulse causes a fraction of 1 revolution, and it is equal to step angle ns. So here, if one pulse is not, it should not be, oh yes, each pulse causes a fraction of, just remember this, not one, a fraction of 1 revolution. So in earlier case, when we were having 4 step angle, so in that case 45 degree step angle was there. So each pulse causes a fraction of 1 revolution, not complete 1 revolution, some part out, that we call it step angle in that particular case. So step angle is alpha is given by 360 by ns, and ns is number of steps angle. when we get, whenever we purchase a stepper motor, we already know the step angle ns. So number of step angle we already know. Suppose 8 stator, in previous case where 8 shoe were there, so it was without a hybrid system. General case we will have 45 degree, 360 by 8, 45 degree. When we are having 4, in that case 4, when we are having 4, then in that case 360 by 4, 90 degree. Maybe I was wrong here explaining. I said 45 degree. Let me check. Mm. No, yes, I was right. 4 step, 90 degree. Yes, correct. So when there is a 4 step, we will get 90 degree step angle, and ns is the number of step angle in one full rotation. So we already have the number of step angle. So as you can see, if we are using IC like this one, I have taken this for to explain this. So if we have IC this one under PLC, so output frequency what we get, this one, at this one, and our output frequency at a frequency f. When we set the frequency f, so we will get the same output. When we are setting frequency f, we are getting this. When we are setting the frequency f by 2, we are getting this waveform. So what does it tells us? It tells us that in that when frequencies are equal, we have set same frequency, so each pulse, same pulses are generated. Okay, when we are using at frequency half, at half of the frequency, so f by 2, so in every 2 pulse of this PLC, 1 pulse is generated. As you can see, 2 pulse of this, 1 pulse is generated here, and for next these 2 pulse, 1 pulse is generated, second pulse, then for this we get this pulse 3, and for again these 2 pulse we get frequency 4, this pulse 5, and this pulse we have 6. So here what we have 12 pulse, but at the output side we are getting 6 pulse. Then if we are using output frequency at f by 4, so we will get obviously 4 by 3, only 3 pulse, 1 2 3. And if we are using f by 8, so we will get this, how much, 12 by 8, 1.5. so 1 pulse and next 6 pulse. What about half pulse? Because we cannot generate half pulse, so 1 pulse. So in that case we will move either, see, as we are getting 12 by 8, so we are getting 1.5, so 1 pulse for this and half pulse, either it will be considered as 2, or next pulse, so it total becomes 2 pulse, or it will be rejected, so it becomes 0 or 1 pulse. So in that case we will not able to achieve the desired position. Obviously the position we have to achieve at 1.5 pulse, but we will get the in integer form either 1 or 2, so it will lead to either moving ahead or staying behind the target position. So as these pulses are used to drive the motor, so motor, whenever motor gets the electrical signal, it will run in steps. So I was trying to tell you that when this value is 1.5, so either it will consider it a 2 pulse or 1 pulse, and 2 pulse will cause to move 2 electrical signal, and 2 electrical signal will cause to move 2 step angle for the rotor, and if 1, then 1 step angle for the rotor. So as you can see, there is a difference between this case and this case, so that will lead to our some below this, if this uh, uh, deviation from our positioning system of the table. Sorry. So next is the angle through which the motor shaft rotates. Now let me use a figure here. This figure. So suppose there ns step angle, okay, and in each step angle ns is equal to 360 by step angle, so we call it as alpha. Alpha is step angle and number of step angle. So suppose this one I am talking about motor side, motor. So for motor we will use M subscript, and for screw we will use S subscript. Barring this one, NS is the number of step angle. Okay, so just remember this. I will also explain same time. So what else is here? This motor has a gear reduction mechanism, and that's why we get the ready screw speed lower than the actual motor speed. Okay, so obviously if one step, or say if n rotation is for motor nm, so due to gear reduction what we will get, suppose lead screw, so as I said that for screw I will use subscript, so for that we will have ns speed, but due to gear reduction we will have rg, g for gear reduction ratio. So we have to reduce the gear reduction, and the rg value will be greater than 2, greater than 1, not 2. Why I said 2? It should be greater than 1. So rg we can consider it as a nm by ns. Motor speed would be high, and we have to set our get our screw speed low. So based on that, why I write this way? Oh, this one is wrong. This one is correct. So this one, so screw speed is, as we are using gear reduction, so we will get Nm by Rg. So lead screw speed would be less than the motor speed. So that is the use of Rg. The same way, if the say AS angle is in lead screw, sorry, AS, yes, AS angle rotated by lead screw. Okay, AS is, please note down all this. AS is the angle rotated AS in lead screw, but what we are getting AM here in motor. So same way we will get our, due to gear reduction, Rg value. If this one is rotated, say for example gear reduction is 10, so if say 300 rpm this one, so due to gear reduction, lead screw rpm we will get 30. The same way, if the AM angle is angle rotated by the motor and AS is the angle rotation by the same pulse that causes the AM rotation of the motor and AS rotation of the lead screw. So again we will have this ratio AS is equal to AM divided by RG, gear ratio. I hope it is clear. Okay, so we have note down this equation, step angle 360 by ns, where ns is the number of step angle in one full rotation. This one. I hope you have written. Next is the angle through which the motor shaft rotates, like I was saying AM. So if AM is the motor shaft rotation, so we can get AM if we supply n number p pulses. As you can see, in one step pulse, one pulse causing, as we are having the step angle alpha, so one pulse causes alpha angle rotation. If we are supplying np pulses, p for pulse, so number of np pulses, np pulse will cause to rotate np, p for pulse, np into alpha. Okay, so that is the angle of rotation of AM. Here you can see by the motor, AM, A for angle, M for motor. Okay, next is motor shaft is generally connected to, as you can see, screw through a gearbox, which reduces the angular rotation of the lead screw. Okay, so if we are using the gear reduction, so again, as for lead screw, total angle rotation we will get lower than the motor angle rotation. So AS, that is correct. AS is equal to AM by RG. And again, if we put the value of AM, number of pulses we use, and step angle divided by gear reduction. right? Okay, so equation 2 we have, equation 3 we have, NP alpha by RG. So again see here what we have: pulse signal direction, driver that converts the electrical signal, and then electrical signal goes to the motor, and then after that we have what? Gear reduction, and that from after gear reduction we this we goes to lead screw LS. So you need to understand first pulse is supplied here, one step, then motor runs based on the pulse, and then due to gear reduction we get lead screw movement. So gear reduction, as you can see, total angle motor is here, pulse train, and this one is motor. So if and pulse are supplied and step angle is step angle alpha, so angle rotated by is motor is AS, and we have this gear mechanism, gear reduction mechanism, lead screw. So we get the x angle rotation of lead screw AS. So AS is always less than AM. Why I write it AS? It should be AM. AM. So here we have RG value that you need to connect it: motor, gear reduction, and then lead screw. So here we have this one. This should be small ns. Ns is the RPM of lead screw. Okay. Again, I hope it is clear. Then linear movement of the work table is given by the number of full and partial rotation of the screw multiplied by its pitch. Okay. So if suppose AS angle is rotation of lead screw, here again AS is angle of lead screw, but if somehow we able to get how many number of rotation, so for that we can divide it by 360 degree, as we have S is total number of rotation of the lead screw AS. If we are able to if we divide it by 360 degree, so what we get? Total number of rotation, and if somehow, not somehow, if we multiply with the pitch value, what we get? The linear distance. As you know, pitch is the moment of the table in one rotation, and this one is the total number of rotation, and if we multiply the pitch value, we will get the linear rotation. Okay. So we have got this value. Now put the value of AS here. When we put the value of AS, what is the value of AS? AS is AM by RG, and again what was the RG? AM. AM was AS is the AM by RG, or A, and AM was if NP pulse we have supplied and step angle rotation was alpha, NP alpha, so put the value of NP alpha by this value, whole value becomes by Rg, put this value AS value and this one is the AS value, so P into, let me write it downward, no. So I am writing it X, we have from here I am writing from equation number 5, let me erase. So P value, pitch value, AS value AM by RG, this one, and then NP by alpha. NP, P is the number of pulses we have used to drive AM angle, and alpha divided by RG, and then we have divided by 360 degree. Okay, so we take it, we need to find number of pulses required to drive x axis, x moment or x position. So NP, take these two value, multiply with this direction and divide by P and alpha, divide by P and alpha, and we have already multiplied 360 and RG, 360 and RG value, it should be again, RG should be this way, like this way, RG. So 360 degree x into RG by P into alpha. So that is the number of pulses required to drive this much distance, x distance. And again we have 360 by P, that is the our 360 by alpha. 360 by alpha is the number of step angle. So we can use also NS value and X and RG, again this RG, it should be RG, and then NS.
सर
Yes,
सर हमारा और एक क्लास है उसका लिंक दिया है सर ने बोला कि स्ट्रेंथ
just finishing in 1 minute.
ओके सर.
So RG by P. So here we have this value, equation number 6. So from onwards I will discuss in next class. Okay, thank you. If you have any query you can